My beloved child, today I want you to pause for a moment, to quietly set down the burdens you carry, and to listen for my voice amid the chaos of life. I know your heart is confused. I know you feel like everything around you is falling apart, crumbling, and slipping beyond your grasp. But my child, remember this: I am teaching you to walk not by what your eyes can see, but by faith, a faith that is built on love, on my faithfulness, and on promises that never change. When you cannot see the path ahead, I am still leading you, step by step. When the noise around you becomes overwhelming, my voice is still whispering deep within your soul, gentle, strong, and full of power. My beloved child, I have not abandoned you in the midst of the things you do not understand. I am training you, shaping within you a vision that transcends circumstances, a faith that does not depend on what your hands can touch, your eyes can see, or your mind can comprehend. This is a time when I am setting you apart from the voices of the world, from the whispers of doubt, from the vague expectations and standards you once strove to meet. I am teaching you to hear the voice of truth, my voice amid the multitude of echoes that breed uncertainty. And it is in the stillness, in the deepest place of your soul, that I am meeting you. Do you not know? This is not a season of loss, as you think. It is a season of transformation, a time when I am shaping your life into my very image. I am not breaking you, I am renewing you. What appears to be crumbling is, in truth, the foundation I am rebuilding. The trembling you fear is not a sign of an ending, but the sound of a new beginning taking form. Sometimes, to raise up what is great, I must tear down what is outdated. I must remove what no longer fits in order to establish something stronger, purer, and far more glorious. My beloved child, there are things I am doing that your eyes have yet to see, your mind has yet to grasp, but that does not mean I am not working. Like a seed buried deep in the earth, seemingly dead, but silently preparing to burst forth into life, so too is your life. In the darkness, in the silence, in the tears, and in the questions that remain unanswered, I am still at work. And when the time is right, you will see the things I have planted in you begin to sprout. They begin to rise, begin to bear fruit in ways you never imagined. I know you are weary. I know there are days when you no longer want to keep going, nights when you cry quietly, questions you have carried in your heart for far too long without reply. But my child, I'm not far from you in those moments. On the contrary, it is in your weakest hours that I draw closest. For I am the one who knows your every thought, the one who has heard every whisper of your soul that no one else hears. I have counted every tear you've shed, and to me, each one is infinitely precious. Faith is not understanding everything that is happening. Faith is choosing to trust me even when nothing is certain. It is being willing to walk in the dark simply because you know I am holding your hand. It is listening for my voice even when the world tries to drown it out with noise. It is not retreating when everything shakes, but pressing on, because you know I am your unshakable foundation. Therefore, my beloved child, do not be afraid. Do not look at everything through your natural eyes. See with the eyes of faith that I give you anew each day. Let me lead you through this season of training, of preparation, of renewal. What you think is an ending is only the opening sentence of a new chapter, brighter, holier, and filled with greater power than you have ever known. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not a victim of your circumstances, but an heir of eternal promises. You are not cast aside from my plan, but drawn closer to it than ever before. And though you cannot yet see it, one day you will understand. You will look back and know that everything I allowed had a purpose far greater than anything you could have imagined, because I love you, because you are my beloved child, and because I always have a good plan for those who are mine. So keep walking, even if your steps are trembling, even through tears, even without all the answers. Walk by faith, because I am here, right beside you, and I will never leave you. This is not the end, my beloved. This is the beginning of a new journey, a journey of love, of faith, and of a life led by me, the one who never changes. My beloved child, there are deep things your physical eyes have not seen and will never see until you learn to look with the eyes of faith. There are mysteries in heaven that surpass the reach of human understanding. These things cannot be measured by time, cannot be explained by reason, and cannot be confined by the patterns of this world. I am moving in realms higher than anything you have imagined. Great plans are unfolding not on the visible earth, but in the unseen realm, where the sacred and eternal are being orchestrated perfectly. And in all of it, you are an irreplaceable part. My child, do not be deceived by the silence. Do not let delay make you believe that I am late. Do not let the limitations of the body and of time cause you to doubt my constant working. While you think nothing is happening, all of heaven is moving. Angels are being dispatched. Doors are being opened, and new chapters are being written in your life by my wise and loving hand. You are not forgotten. You are not left behind. You are not outside of my plan. On the contrary, you are at the center of a sacred journey I ordained before time began. My beloved, I know you have longed for clear signs, for specific confirmations, for visible miracles, so that you could move forward in confidence. But I am calling you to go beyond what your eyes can see, beyond what your ears can hear, and to stand firm not on feelings, but on faith, faith in me, the one who never changes, who never speaks in vain, who never forgets a single promise. This faith is not built on the temporary, but rooted in the eternal one. And if you let me teach you to live by faith, you will come to know what peace beyond understanding truly is, what unshakable trust looks like, even when the world around you trembles. Do you not know? There are works I am doing that even the angels marvel at. There are purposes that far exceed your prayers, because I see the full picture, while you only see a small part. You are living within time, but I am acting from eternity. You are counting hours and days, while I am working according to a heavenly timeline, where everything is beautiful in its time. So do not be disheartened when your prayers are not answered the way you expect. Trust that I am preparing what is best for you, not merely what you want, but what you truly need, what nourishes your soul, and what draws you closer to my heart. I understand that there are days when you feel lost, when everything seems blurry and uncertain. But it is in those very days when you have nowhere else to cling but to me that your faith is being refined. It is when the familiar falls away that you truly learn to live in full dependence on me. And that is when you begin to realize that I am enough, that you do not need to understand everything in order to trust. Do not need to see the future in order to walk forward. Do not need to hold everything in your hands to know that you are held in mine. My beloved child, let your faith take root deep in my love, a love that does not change, that is not bound by time, that does not depend on success or failure, but rests solely on the truth that you are my child. When your faith is rooted in me, You will no longer fear the storms. When your trust in me becomes your breath, you will no longer be swayed by the shifting winds of circumstance. And when you choose to walk with me, step by step through all that is uncertain, you will find that my peace is real, my power is sufficient, and my love is your unshakable foundation. This is not a fleeting life, my child. This is the journey of a soul returning to its Creator. Everything you go through, whether tears or laughter, stumbling or victory, is in my hands and filled with purpose. Nothing is random. Nothing is without meaning. Every step you take, every decision you make, every pain you endure, I see it all. I know it all. And I use it all to lead you to the place of glory I prepared for you long before you were ever formed. Beloved child, rest now in the presence of your Father. Let your heart be still. Trust not by feelings, but by the knowledge that I am faithful. Choose to live by faith, not by sight. For what I am doing for you surpasses what your eyes can see in this present moment. Let your heart be filled with peace, not the fleeting peace the world offers, but the peace that flows from my presence, from the assurance that you are never lost, never forgotten, never left behind. I am holding your hand. I am leading you down a path no one else can walk in your place, and you will never walk alone. For I, who began the good work in you, I am faithful to bring it to completion on the day of fulfillment. Believe this, my beloved. Live in that peace, and know that you are walking within the mystery of heaven, where my love, grace, and eternal purpose are unfolding for your absolute good. My beloved child, there are moments when you sit silently in the dark, your heart heavy with things you cannot put into words, and you think you are praying alone. But my child, the Holy Spirit, my very Spirit, is dwelling within you, interceding for you with groanings too deep for human language. When you don't know what to say, when all you can do is sigh or weep in silence, He understands. Before you can even form the words, He already knows what you need. Before your thoughts take shape, He stands before my throne, on your behalf, with prayers refined by eternal wisdom and unwavering love. You are never alone when you pray. You do not need to strive to say the right thing, the complete thing, or the most beautiful thing. My Spirit is praying with you, shaping your heart each time you bow before me. He does not just deliver your words to me, He aligns every beat of your heart to my holy will. He is the bridge between your human limitations and my divine perfection. And through Him, your prayers, however faint, hesitant, or scattered, rise like sweet incense before my glorious throne. Beloved, I have heard you from the very first moment you called my name, but there are things that, no matter how earnestly you ask, I withhold, not because I ignore you, not because I delay out of harshness, but because I love you so deeply that I only desire to give at the perfect moment, the moment shaped by my wisdom, not your impatience. Some prayers, if answered too soon, would bring burden rather than blessing. Some gifts are good, but you are not yet ready to carry them. I never turn you away with cold indifference. When I close a door, it is not rejection, but redirection. When I delay something, it is not detachment, but loving protection. Just as a father will not hand a sharp blade to his child, not out of lack of love, but because of too much love to allow harm, I too see the consequences in advance. I know your strength. I know the appointed season for every gift. My child, the waiting you are experiencing is not wasted time. It is the time I am preparing your heart, softening the rough edges, and building a strong foundation within you so that when the blessing comes, you will carry it without being crushed. What you call delay, I call preparation. What you see as silence is the deep work I am doing in your soul where only you and I can see. Beloved, I understand the weariness of waiting. I know the sighs that rise when you see others receive what they prayed for, while you remain at a crossroads. But remember, I do not work by comparison. I do not schedule your blessing by the world's clock, but by heaven's perfection. You may not see the door opening today, but trust that behind it, I am arranging all things so that when it opens, there will be no doubt in your heart or in anyone's that it was my hand at work. Your faith is not measured by how quickly your prayers are answered, but by your steadfastness in the waiting, and I delight in seeing you continue to pray, to trust, to praise, even without a clear answer. I do not require perfect prayers. I seek an honest heart. I am not looking for ritual, but for relationship, for you to come to me not because you need something, but because you love me, and because you trust that I am working even when you cannot yet see. So, my child, let your heart rest in me. Let me work in you, not just for you. For sometimes the greatest change I desire is not in your circumstance, but in you. And when you are transformed, when you become more like my image, even your prayers will change, not rushed wishes, but deep desires aligned with my eternal will. Therefore, beloved child, be patient. Hold on to your faith. Keep praying. Even if it is only with a weak breath, trust that every prayer, every tear, every unseen embrace you offer me is remembered in my heart. And at the appointed time, you will see not just the answer, but the whole journey we walk together through the darkness, the silence, and my unshakable love. I am at work, my child. In every moment you think nothing is happening, I am weaving good things. In every prayer that seems unanswered, I am preparing a response far beyond your expectations. Trust me, for I am your Father, and my timing is perfect. Beloved child of mine, today I want to whisper to your heart a deep truth, a timeless reality that has upheld generations, that faith is the currency of heaven. Not gold, not merit, not human achievement, but faith, the seemingly fragile thing that moves mountains and opens celestial gates. Faith is what I cherish, not because I need you to prove anything, but because faith is the key that opens your heart to receive every blessing I long to give. My beloved, in this journey through a world of uncertainties, wounds, and unanswered questions, I know there are times you feel small, exhausted, and lost. There are nights you lie in silence, eyes wide in the dark, searching for a sign, a light, a sound from heaven to know I am still near. And when all you hear is silence, it is faith that will whisper in your heart, the Father is still working. Faith does not require you to understand everything. Faith does not demand you to see anything specific. Faith does not even insist that you remain strong. In truth, the faith steps in when you have no strength to step. Faith hears when your ears are drowned in noise. Faith holds you steady when your emotions are tangled. When your heart closes from pain and doubt, you may not feel my presence, but faith still knows I have never left you. My child, faith is not a fleeting emotion. It is a commitment, an anchor to my unchanging faithfulness. And this very faith is the strength that will nourish your soul each day. helping you stand when storms rise. Stay firm when the world shakes, and see light even in the darkest nights. Faith is the bridge that carries you from the limits of reason into the boundlessness of trust. Beloved, I do not need you to possess perfect faith. I only ask you to offer me what you have, even if it's a flicker of hope, a trembling prayer, a tiny decision to trust me once more. Because I do not measure your faith by its size, but by its sincerity. Faith as small as a mustard seed can move heaven, for when it is placed in me, it can bring forth wonders no one expected. Remember, it was faith that first drew you close to me, not because you understood all Scripture, nor because you lived perfectly, but because you believed that I love you, and that belief began a journey no force can stop. That faith connected your heart to mine, opening the way for every communion, every healing, every promise to be poured out like early rain on the dry soil of your soul. My child, there will be days when everything in you wants to give up. There will be seasons when you feel like walking through a desert, where every prayer vanishes into silence. But even when all outside evidence says otherwise, faith will remind you that my promises are true, that my love is not based on circumstance, that I am right beside you, walking every step, whether you sense me or not. Faith does not mean you always feel strong, but that you cling to me even in your weakness. Not that you always trust perfectly, but that you return to me each time you doubt. Not that you walk boldly every step, but that you keep moving forward even when you tremble. And I rejoice when you believe even a little, because that small spark is the beginning of a life transformed by my power. Beloved, faith is not just a staff to lean on when weary. It is the very path you walk every day. It is your lifeline, your rhythm, your spiritual breath that lifts you beyond human limits. When you learn to live by faith, you will no longer be bound by what you see, hear, or feel. You will live by what I have spoken, and my word never returns void. So, my beloved child, if today you feel faint, I invite you to come closer. Do not fear when you no longer feel. Do not be ashamed when you doubt. Do not run away when you're disappointed. Come to me with every truth in your heart, and let faith, even if fragile, become the small lamp that lights your steps in the night. I will not reject you. I will not scold you. I will take your hand, strengthen your faith, and walk with you until you are strong enough to stand in every storm. Faith is the bridge that connects you to me. And once you step onto that bridge, you will never fall into the abyss, for beneath you are always the faithful hands of your Father, who has loved you from before time began and will love you into eternity without end. Walk on, my child. Walk by faith, for it is the path that leads you closer to me than ever before. Beloved child of mine, I know there are moments in life when it feels as though you are walking alone, as though my loving, faithful hand has withdrawn from your life. I see the sighs that no one notices, the silent moments when your head bows beneath the burden your heart cannot share. Perhaps right now, you do not sense my presence. Perhaps the turmoil around you has unsettled your soul and shaken your faith until it feels like nothing more than a fragile whisper. But my child, be at peace. For one day, when you look back, you will see clearer than ever that I was there, beside you, in every step, every season, every tear, and every fall. My beloved child, I am not only present when you are strong, when you rejoice, or when you triumph. I am there even in your weary waiting, In the moments when you are shattered by things beyond your control, when you sit in silence and no one understands what is unfolding in the depths of your soul, I am there in your brokenness, not to stand at a distance, but to hold you close, to embrace you, and to begin the work of healing. I am there when you have nothing left to cling to remind you that my love is the unshakable foundation that will never crumble. In every moment you think you are lost, I am silently walking with you, never abandoning, never retreating, never remaining silent without purpose, but working within your heart a hidden, persistent, and powerful work. My dear child, the day will come when you understand that every trial you have endured was never meant to destroy you, but to refine your faith like gold through fire. It is in the darkest paths that your faith in me becomes more real, more alive, and more unshakable. No season of hardship is ever wasted. Every wound, every pain, every time you could not go on yet still chose to trust me, all of it forms the stones that build a life rooted deeply in my heart. A soul no longer swayed by circumstances, but one that stands firm by the love and promises of the one who has loved you with an everlasting love. You will come to see that every sorrow you once thought meaningless was in fact the very door through which my joy entered. A joy unlike that of the world, fleeting and conditional, but a joy that flows from my presence, unchanging in the storm. A joy that lets you smile even while tears are still falling. For I do not merely take away what is old and wounded, but I replace it with what is new, lasting joy, unconditional love, and a peace no one can take from you. Then you will understand that every loss in your life was not an end, but a preparation. There are things I must remove, not because you are unworthy, but because you are worthy of far more. There are relationships I allow to fade, doors I allow to close, because I am preparing you to carry greater treasures, things beyond your imagination, blessings that, if given at the wrong time, would only weigh heavily on your soul. You are not being left behind, you are being prepared. You are not being deprived, you are being cleared for something far more precious. Oh, my child, it is in your very weakness that my power shines the brightest. I do not wait for you to become perfect before I bless you. I do not require you to always be strong to be close to me. On the contrary, I step into the weakest places of your heart, the places you wish to hide, the places you fear anyone might see, and I place my presence there. My strength does not make you proud, it makes you humble, more loving, more compassionate toward yourself and others. It is a strength that does not wound or burden, but lifts you up and sets you on your feet, feet that I myself have given you. So, my child, even if today you cannot yet see my hand, walk forward in trust. Do not wait until every question is answered to believe. Do not wait until all becomes clear to give thanks. Believe that I am at work, that I am holding your hand, that I am painting a masterpiece out of the broken pieces you thought were useless. Believe that no season in your life is wasted, not the season of waiting, nor the season of breaking, nor the season of loneliness. All are part of my eternal plan, a plan to bless you, to transform you, and to lead you into a life of unshakable grace. And one day, when you look back, you will see it clearly. I never left your side. You will see me in every season, in your tears and in your laughter, in your brokenness and in your healing, in your long waits and in your glorious restoration. You will know that it was I who held your hand through every dark valley, and that nothing in your life was ever beyond my reach. Then your faith will no longer be a fragile thing you try to keep alive, but a precious treasure you cherish with deep gratitude. Because you have experienced for yourself, I am faithful, I am good, and I am love that never changes. You are my beloved child from everlasting to everlasting. My beloved child, in a world that is constantly changing, where values are confused, and truth is often hidden beneath layers of glamour and the temporary, I do not want you to live upon shifting sands. I did not create you to chase after fleeting things, human approval, or foundations built on insecurity. Instead, I want you to live with a heavenly vision, a vision not limited by present circumstances or passing emotions, but rooted in eternity, where all things are measured by love, grace, and truth. My child, have you ever asked yourself, where am I heading? What am I living for? I know there are times you become absorbed in what your eyes see, your ears hear, and your heart desires, to the point that you forget you do not belong to this world. You are my masterpiece, created to reflect my glory. I do not want you swept away in the currents of anxiety, fear, and pressure. I invite you to lift your heart toward the things above where peace is unshakable, truth unfading, and my love never withdraws. Lift up your eyes, my beloved, when the world causes you to hang your head in shame, in fear, in the sting of judgment or contempt. That is the very moment I call you to look up. Look to me, the one who created you in love and longs for you with all his heart. When you lift your gaze, you will see that I am still here, steadfast, unchanging, never distant, never indifferent. I do not merely wait for you at the end of the journey. I walk with you step by step. Every step you take, I have already gone before and made the way. My beloved child, I know there are times when your faith is placed in what I do in the miracles, the answered prayers, the times I deliver you, but I call you to go deeper. Learn to trust not only in what I do, but in who I am, for there will be moments when miracles seem absent, days when your prayers feel like they fall into silence. But it is in those very moments that what sustains you is not what I do, but my heart for you. I am good not only when all is well, but even when you walk through the darkest valleys. I am wise not only when you understand my ways, but also when things unfold contrary to your expectations. I am faithful not only in the past, but today and forever. And I am always for you, even when you doubt yourself, even when you feel unworthy, even when you are lost and don't know how to return. My beloved, you may not understand why you must pass through these difficult seasons, why some prayers remain unanswered, or why certain blessings are delayed. You may have asked, where are you, Father, in all of this? Remember, even when you do not understand my ways, you can trust my heart. My love for you is not limited by your understanding. Sometimes, the greatest thing you can do is not to seek explanations, but to surrender into my arms and say, I trust you, even when I do not understand. My child, there will be times you walk through fire, intense trials, profound losses, pains that feel impossible to bear. But even in that fire, I am with you, not observing from afar, but walking in it with you, shielding you, covering you with my presence. The fire may burn away what is not needed, but it will never consume you, because I am guarding you every second, every moment. In those very moments, you will come to know that my presence is more precious than anything this world could offer. And even when you feel alone, when no one understands you, when your heart feels empty and yearns for an embrace from eternity, know that I am there with you, covering you, upholding you with a love that cannot be measured. There are things your eyes cannot see, but your soul can still sense through gentle comfort, through a tender peace, through an inner stability no one can steal. That is the sign of my presence with you, not always loud, but always real, always alive, always complete. My beloved child, I do not call you to live based on the temporary. I call you to live with a heavenly vision, a vision that surpasses circumstance, surpasses emotion, surpasses reason. It is the vision of faith, the vision of a child who knows their Father and trusts in his unchanging nature. When you live with that vision, you will no longer be shaken by the world's instability. You will stand firm, walk with courage, and live with a peace nothing can take away. So, my child, keep lifting your eyes. Do not let this world make you lose sight of heaven's vision. Do not let fear drown out my gentle voice. Anchor your heart in my goodness, my wisdom, and my faithfulness. And as you walk through this life through green pastures or dark valleys, you will know that you are never alone. For I, the one who loves you more than his own life, I am always by your side now and forevermore. My beloved child, in every breath of your life, I am silently and patiently shaping you in ways the human eye cannot see, the human ear cannot hear, and the human mind cannot fully grasp. You may think your role is only to wait for answers from heaven, to receive blessings, healing, or miracles from me. But no, my child, I am calling you deeper into a place of maturity and steadiness. I am making you into someone who can carry the answer, not just wait for it. I am transforming your nature from within, so that you may stand in this truth-starved world and reflect my glory through every action, every word, every gaze, and even through your silent attentiveness. You were not created merely to live a life of receiving, though my grace is always abundant. True faith does not stop at receiving good things. Mature faith is when you become a vessel, a channel through which my glory is revealed. You are called to be light in the darkness, salt of the earth, an instrument in the hands of the Creator to bring life where there is death, hope where there is despair, healing to broken hearts. And in order for you to carry these high purposes, you must undergo sacred training, where every battle, every storm holds a divine purpose behind it. My beloved, storms will come. No one lives on this earth without facing days of fierce winds, rising waters, or consuming fires. But you are not like others, for you have been built on the solid rock on me. You do not stand on sand. Do not cling to the temporary. Do not live for the applause or safety of the world. You are anchored in my love and truth, and nothing can uproot a heart deeply rooted in my grace. When the winds rise and the floods rush in, it is not a sign that I have left you. It is proof that your foundation is being tested to reveal its unshakable strength. You will see that in the quaking storms that seem to seek your destruction, it is there that I reveal what cannot be shaken within you: true faith, trust that transcends emotion, peace that defies circumstance, strength when there is nothing left to lean on but me. These things are not born on mountaintops, but in valleys, in the darkness, in the cries of the night, in the unanswered questions. It is there that you will learn My strength is made perfect in your weakness. And when trials come, my child, do not be afraid. They are not signs that I have rejected you, nor punishments, but rather a testing to reveal the treasure I have placed within you. Just as gold is refined by fire, your faith will shine brilliantly through adversity. It is not meant to break you, but to unveil what is true, what is solid, what is precious beyond any falsehood or pretense. In those moments, you will see that what holds you is not your own strength, but my unwavering faithfulness. And even in those seconds where you feel like collapsing, you will clearly know that it is I who fight on your behalf. There are battles you cannot win with strategy or eloquence. There are enemies you cannot overcome with intellect or experience. But you are not alone, for I am the one who goes before you, the one who stands behind you, the one who surrounds you with my mighty arms. I do not bring you into the battlefield to abandon you, to fight alone, but that you may know through every trial and every war that I am the great warrior, the one who never fails. When your hands are empty, when you have no words left to pray, no tears left to cry, that is when you will see me rise for you. And that victory will not come from your efforts, but from your absolute trust in me. My child, I am not training you to live in fear, but to become a warrior of light, a bearer of the answer for a world weary in its search. You will not merely speak of truth. Your very life will be a living testimony of my power. You will not only receive healing, but become a vessel of healing for others. You will not only dwell in the light, but you will become a lamp that pierces the darkness. And you will no longer ask me, "When will I receive?" But you will begin to ask, "How can I become a conduit for your life?" I do not see you as someone weak, needing constant shelter. I see you as a courageous child growing in grace, one who can stand firm in every trial, not by your own strength, but by my presence within you. You are the reflection of my glory, not because you are perfect, but because you surrender, because you walk in humility, because you allow me to be Lord of your life. This is the glory that does not come from talent or merit, but from total surrender to my unending love. My beloved child, you were not created to drag yourself through life in weariness, nor to merely survive each day with an anxious soul and a fearful heart. You are not called to live like one who hides in the night, shadowed and silenced by things beyond your control. No, my child, the life I have given you is not for silent survival, but for glorious triumph. I call you out of fear, out of the walls that confine you in doubt and limitation, that you may live with a bold spirit, a heart full of hope, and a light that cannot be hidden. You are called to rise like a lamp, shining in the midst of darkness, not by your own strength, but by the light of me dwelling within you. You are not alone in this journey. I do not leave you isolated in the wilderness of life. You are called to walk with me hand in hand, your steps aligned with the rhythm of my heart. When you carry the yoke with me, you will find the burden becomes light. For my yoke is gentle and my burden is light. My presence is the place of rest for your soul. I do not walk ahead to leave you behind, nor do I trail behind to silently observe. I walk with you step by step, moment by moment, breath by breath. When you are weak, I lift you up. When you stumble, I do not condemn, but extend my hand to help you rise. When you lose your way, I do not turn my face away, but gently guide you back to the right path. You do not walk with the fear of not knowing where you're headed. For I am the way, the truth, and the life for you, my beloved child. You are not just a number in the crowd. I am writing a story through your very life, a story that is not bound by time, but echoes into eternity. Your life is not meaningless, and each day you live is not a blank page lost to the winds. Every step you take, no matter how small, has the power to touch the eternal. Every act of faith, though uncelebrated by the world, resounds in heaven. Every word spoken in love, every quiet sacrifice, every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, every moment you choose faithfulness instead of surrender, all of it is remembered, cherished, and woven by me into a masterpiece that brings glory to my name. Do not underestimate the power of the little things done in faith. Do not believe that only grand gestures have value. In me, nothing is small. A silent prêt, a moment where you stop to help another, an act of obedience unseen by anyone. All of it carries a ripple effect far beyond what you can imagine. I see all that happens in the secret place, where no one praises you, where no one notices your faithfulness, yet you still choose to walk with me. And it is in those hidden places that I am sowing holy seeds, in your soul seeds. I will one day bring forth in public reward, not to glorify you, but to make my name shine through your life. Remember that not one of your tears is wasted. No waiting is in vain. Every second of endurance, every step taken in tears, every desperate prayer clinging to hope, they are all planting seeds in the sacred fields of heaven. And I promise you this, what you sow in tears, you will reap in joy, not a fleeting joy, nor a shallow happiness, but a complete joy that comes from heaven, a reward unlike anything this world could ever offer. Oh, my child, in a world where everything shakes the heart with ease, I call you to stand firm, not by your strength, but by my grace. You were created to live a life strong in faith, not just to endure, but to conquer, not to hide in safety, but to step into the storm and carry my light into a lost world. You are not one who passively waits for miracles. You are the one I have chosen to be the miracle in the lives of others. And as you walk with me, you will experience a life that is whole, a life where every day has purpose and every action bears the mark of heaven. So do not fear the small steps. Do not hesitate at the quiet choices. Do not despise the path I lead you on, even when it is not dazzling, not loud, not fast. For it is through daily faithfulness that you allow me to write a story that can transform not only your life, but generations after you. And when you keep your heart fixed on me, when you take each small step in faith, when you choose obedience in things that seem insignificant, you are doing something of eternal value. I see it, I know it, and I will reward you abundantly because I love you more than you could ever comprehend. Live, my child, not merely to survive, but to live abundantly, not to hide, but to shine, not to walk alone, but to journey with me each day, each hour, each breath. For your life, when placed in my hands, becomes a divine story echoing into eternity. And that is what you are called to live. Oh, my beloved child, in this noisy world of expectations and pressure, where hearts are bruised by past mistakes, unnamed fears, unmet needs, and unfulfilled dreams, I want you to pause and hear the truth from my heart. You are not defined by what you've lost. You are not measured by dreams yet unformed or wounds that once made your heart bleed. You are not the sum of your shortcomings or failures, nor are you a product of the comparisons people try to place on you. No, my child, your true identity is not found in the judging eyes of others. nor in the voices of self-condemnation within your own mind. You are defined by my eternal and unchanging love. My love is not a fleeting feeling that comes and goes. It is a foundation that cannot be shaken, a root that cannot be uprooted, an atmosphere that surrounds your life. This very love called you out of darkness, breathed life into you from the beginning, and continues to sustain you day by day, hour by hour. In every moment you feel you are not enough. I see you not as the world sees you. I see you through the lens of the calling I placed upon you, through the eternal purpose I prepared for you before you ever drew your first breath. You are my beloved, the precious gem in my hand, the reason I smile among all my creation. You are chosen not because you are perfect, but because I loved you before you ever knew how to love me. So, my child, rise above the doubts that weigh heavily on your soul. Break free from the barriers you have erected in your mind, the walls you believe you cannot overcome. Step forward with confidence, not confidence in your own strength, but confidence that comes from knowing that the Father is with you. Though the path ahead may be shrouded, though you cannot see the next step clearly, you can still move forward, because the light of the Father will illuminate every step you take. As you walk in faith, the Father will place solid stones beneath your feet. As you pass through the darkness, you will know that it is not the end. But where the Father is cultivating courage in you, no step you take is ever in vain when taken with the Father. Even when the road is steep and the challenges discourage you, remember that it is precisely in those seemingly insurmountable places that the Father performs miracles. It is in circumstances that frighten you that He builds extraordinary courage. Do not wait until everything becomes easy to believe. For faith does not need favorable conditions to stand firm. Faith is born from trust in the one who never changes, and the Father is that one. He goes before you to prepare the way. He walks behind you to protect you. He stands beside you to accompany you. He dwells within you to accomplish what you cannot on your own. You are not alone in your battle. The Father is your fortress, your unshakable refuge in all circumstances. Beloved child, in the darkness that seems endless, the Father calls you to walk in joy, not a false joy to mask pain, but a profound joy grounded in knowing that He is working in all things. That joy does not arise from circumstances, but from His presence. Though the night may be long, the Father's light never fades. When you feel nothing, know that He is still upholding you. When you feel weak, know that His power is most fully revealed in that weakness. When you are weary and tempted to give up, let His word be your new breath, your fresh strength. You are not forgotten. You are not cast aside. You are loved, kept, and guided every step by the one who will never abandon you. And, my child, what the Father has begun in you, He will complete. He is not one who starts and then leaves you to fend for yourself. He is faithful. He fulfills every promise He makes. The dreams He has sown in your heart, the visions He has placed, the whispers He breathed in the dark, He will not let them wither. No matter how much time passes, no matter how discouraged you may become, remember that nothing He starts is ever left unfinished. Every stage of your journey, whether triumphant or flawed, is being woven into a beautiful masterpiece, a life reflecting His glory. Therefore, dear child, do not let the limits of the past shape your future. Do not allow fear to imprison your feet in silence. Live as one who knows you are loved, called, chosen. Walk as one who carries a heavenly mission. Hold your head high. even with tear-filled eyes. Walk, step by step in faith, even when you cannot see the whole path. For the Father walks with you, lifts you up, and writes your story with his loving, powerful hand. Beloved child of the Father, there are things in life that cannot be learned through peace and sunny days alone. Some lessons are written in tears, forged in the furnace of trial, etched by moments when you thought you could no longer go on. But know this, my child, the Father did not create you just to pass through life fragile, waiting for relief. He did not make you merely to sit and receive solutions to your problems. No, the Father is training you, shaping you, transforming you each day so that you may become the very answer. You are not only a recipient of grace, but a channel of that grace to the world, not just to receive, but to give, not merely to survive, but to live boldly and courageously, not just to know the light, but to be the light in the darkness. My child, the storms of life are real. Winds will rage, waters will rise, and sometimes the trials will surround you so fiercely that you feel engulfed. But remember, you were not made to be destroyed. You were not built on sand only to collapse. You have been founded on the rock, the Father himself. You have been anchored in him by an unbreakable cord that is his eternal love for you. The tremors will come, but not to destroy you. They come to reveal something deeper, that within you, through the Father, there is something unshakable. Your faith, though tested, remains steadfast. Your true self, though challenged, is preserved by his presence. The Father knows you have trembled. He knows you have doubted yourself. He knows you have asked if you can endure. But in those moments, my child, know this, not by your own strength, but by his power, you will stand firm. When trials come, they are not signs you have failed, but opportunities to prove that your faith is real, alive, and stronger than you ever imagined. He allows the wind to blow not to carry you away, but to show the world that you are not easily moved, because your roots run deep in him. When fire comes, it is not to consume you, but to purify you like fine gold, so that the dross burns away, and what remains is true, radiant, enduring faith. Beloved child, do not be surprised when battles ignite around you. In this life, there will be days you must fight against fear, temptation, disappointment, and even your own heart. But remember that you do not fight alone. The Father fights for you. He does not stand afar observing. He is not merely an external guide. He is the one who enters the battlefield with you. He is your shield, your sharp sword, your steadfast stronghold in days of trouble. When you feel you have no strength left, he is your new source of power. When you have no words left in prayer, he is the unspoken groan sustaining you. When you are at your weakest, he acts with the greatest might. And through it all, the Father is not just keeping you, he is changing you. You are being refined not to remain as a fragile passerby, but to be one who brings life, wisdom, and his power to answer the questions of this age, to be someone who rises when others fall, who supports when others lose their way. You are called to reflect his glory, to be light shining in the darkness, to be salt seasoning a bland world. The gift the Father has given you is not only for your own enjoyment, but so that through you, the world may know his love. So stand firm. My child, do not measure yourself by moments of weakness. Do not let the voices of the world suffocate your vision. Do not let the wounds of the past hinder your steps today. The Father is at work deeply in your soul, a silent but powerful work. He is refining each quality, expanding your heart to hold more, love more, endure more, and hope more. What you endure today is not meaningless. It is part of the Father's grand design to transform you into someone who can stand in the storms and still say, I know the one in whom I have believed. You will never be a victim of circumstance. You are a warrior of grace. You are one who brings life where death reigns. You are one who brings answers where cries persist. And that does not come from you, but from the fact that the Father lives in you. The glory you reflect is not your own light, but the light of the Father shining through you like a clay vessel. So the world knows that power comes from Him, not from you. My child, as you continue on this journey, remember that every drop of sweat, every tear, every time you rise after falling, all are writing a story greater than your life. A story of one who is loved, called, and shaped not by circumstance, but by the Father Himself. And one day, when you look back, you will see that every trial had purpose, every battle had value, and you became who the Father always intended, a bearer of answers, a reflector of His glory in the world, because the Father is with you. The Father keeps you. The Father will complete the great work He began in your life, and that promise never changes. Amen. As a child of God, He is always by your side in every moment, continually reminding you to live in faith and love. Please follow and turn on notifications so you don't miss the messages He sends from heaven. Amen.